welcome back to Stories for Shabbos. It was 1 week before Moshe's bar mitzvah. Moshe was a nice, sweet boy who lived in Yerushalayim, and like every bar mitzvah boy, he spent many, many weeks and months preparing to learn the Torah and the Haftorah. And 1 week before his bar mitzvah, he went to practice with the gabbai from his shul, just to make sure that he was all ready and to see if there was anything he needed to fix or work on in those last few days. So he started doing the Haftorah. I'm not sure what week it was, but let's just say it was Parshas Kedoshim, because that's one of the Parshas we're going to learn this week. And he started learning the Haftorah for Parshas Kedoshim. And the gabbai said to him, "Oh no, did you not realize that this week Shabbos is Rosh Chodesh? And when Shabbos is on Rosh Chodesh, there's a special Haftorah for Rosh Chodesh. We don't read that Haftorah for Parshas Kedoshim that you've been practicing for the past 6 months." And the boy was so sad, he was almost going to cry. And his father was so sad, he was almost going to cry, and his whole family was so disappointed for him. He had been practicing for his bar mitzvah for months. He knew his Haftorah so well, and it was the wrong Haftorah for that week. What was he going to do? Well, luckily, the next day, he was going to visit the greatest rabbi in the world, the greatest halachic authority.
Before his bar mitzvah,
Yeah, it was 1 week before his bar mitzvah that he realized. So luckily, the next day they were going to visit Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, who was the Gadol Hador, the greatest rabbi in the whole generation. He was going to get a bracha for his bar mitzvah, like a lot of bar mitzvah boys or bas mitzvah girls do before, to get a bracha from someone very special. And while they were there, the father asked Rav Shlomo Zalman, "Well, listen, this is what happened. We actually practiced the wrong Haftorah. We thought it was the Haftorah for Parshas Kedoshim. We didn't realize that it was Shabbos for Rosh Chodesh. Is there anything we can do about it?" You know what Rav Shlomo Zalman said to him? "It's okay. You can actually learn the Haftorah for Parshas Kedoshim, even though that's not what we usually do. And even though all the other shuls will be learning the special Haftorah for Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, since this is a bar mitzvah boy, and since it is, after all, also Parshas Kedoshim, you can learn that Haftorah in your shul." Someone as great as Rav Shlomo Zalman can make those types of decisions. And the boy was relieved, and the father was relieved, and they were so happy that he was allowed to learn the Haftorah that he had practiced so much. So they go to shul a few days later, on Shabbos, for his bar mitzvah. He's so excited. He gets up to learn his parsha, and when he's up to Shishi, the 6th aliyah, just 2 aliyos before it's time for the Haftorah, guess who walks into shul? Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. Now let me explain to you how special this is. Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach wasn't such a young man anymore. He was already in his 80s. Plus, he lived in a neighborhood of Yerushalayim called Acharei. It was about 5 miles away from this boy's shul. And it was a hot spring day in Yerushalayim. Can you imagine? Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach walked 5 miles when he was an old man in the hot sun just to go to this boy's bar mitzvah. And when he came, they were shocked. Rav Shlomo Zalman came to our shul. And he went over to the bar mitzvah boy's father and he told him like this. He said, "I woke up this morning and I realized that when it comes time for the Haftorah, you're going to tell the gabbai that the bar mitzvah boy is reading the Haftorah for Kedoshim. And the gabbai or the rabbi or people in the shul are going to start mumbling and saying, 'Hold on, it's Rosh Chodesh. They should be learning the Haftorah for Rosh Chodesh.' And you're going to tell them, 'Oh, no, we asked Rav Shlomo Zalman, and he said we could read the Haftorah for Kedoshim.' And people are going to be mumbling, 'Did they really ask Rav Shlomo Zalman? Did Rav Shlomo Zalman really say that? Should we believe him? Is he telling the truth?' So I decided I was going to walk here myself and tell the whole shul that this week, this shul is leading the Haftorah for Parshas Kedoshim, and the bar mitzvah boy can learn the Haftorah that he practiced." That was the greatness of a big tzaddik like Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, who was famous and well known for his brilliance, for his chachma, for how much Torah he knew. People asked him questions every day from all around the world. But you know what was just as great, if not even greater? His midos, and how much he loved and cared about every single person. You know, in this week's Parsha, in Parshas Kedoshim, we read the famous pasuk of V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. You have to love your fellow Jews as much as you love yourself. When somebody asked a question to Rav Shlomo Zalman, he didn't just think, what's the answer? He would always think, how can I help this person in any way that I can? Even if it means, as an old man, walking 5 miles in the burning hot sun. Good Shabbos, everyone.